In previous class, we were discussed about the some topics on numerical problems on motor car gearbox and epicyclic gear train. So, what is an epicyclic gear train? Here, in ordinary gear train, both the shafts of both the axes of the gears are constant and they revolve about the fixed axis. But in the epicyclic gear train, so one of the gear having a moving axis around a fixed axis gear. So that is epicyclic gear train. Epicyclic gear train is used in pulley blocks, wristwatches, differential in differential. So in this we use epicyclic gear train. So and next we were discussed about the spur gear wheel design. And today's class we are going to design. We are going to learn about some design of spur gear teeth and problems on spur gear teeth. So before that, we'll see some problems on the spur gear wheel design. So we are discussing about some problems on spur gear wheel design, and next one is design of spur gear teeth and the problems on spur gear teeth. So this is the end of gears topic. So now we'll see some problems on spur gear wheel design. So in spur gear wheel design, we need to design the rim, number of arms, and hub diameter, and inner diameter of the hub and outer diameter of the hub. So here we need to find the pitch diameter, circular pitch, and the dimensions of the teeth of spur gear, having number of teeth 36 and module 6. So here number of teeth is given as 36. And module is 6. So from this pitch diameter is pitch circle diameter when the module and number of teeth is given. The module equal to pitch circle diameter by number of teeth. From that we get the pitch circle diameter D equal to M into T module into number of teeth, that is 6 into 36. So we get pitch diameter as 216 mm, 216 mm. So now circular pitch equal to, we know circular pitch is pi d by t. So we know the value of d, that is 216 into pi by 36. T is 36. From this we got the circular pitch as 18.84 mm. So here addendum will be m is given as 6 mm, and dedendum is 1.157 m. So that is 1.157 into 6, that is 6.942 mm is the dedendum. Working depth equal to 2 into m, that is equal to 2 into 6 equal to 12 mm will be the working depth. Clearance is equal to 0.157 m, that is 0.157 into 6, that is equal to 0.942 mm. Hole depth 2.157 into m, that is 2.157 into 6, that is 12.942 mm. And thickness of teeth is 0.5 pc, that is 0.5 into Circular pitch is 38.8. So then it is 9.42 will be the, sorry, 18.84 is the PC. Then thickness of the teeth is 0.5 into PC, that is equal to 9.42 mm. The width of space equal to 0.5 PC, that is 9.42 mm is width of space. So this is the whole design of uh, gear. So by all the nomenclature we were find it out here by using the module M, the relation with the module M. The next one is design a cast iron spur gear of 500 mm PCD for a shaft to transmit 8 kilowatt at 140 rpm. Assume the design stress for mild steel shaft as 45 Newton per mm square and the module as 10 mm. Design should include, here we need to find number of arms, thickness of rim, gear shaft diameter, hub diameter, and length of the hub. So in spur gear wheel design, we need to find, first one is number of arm, thickness of the rim, and gear shaft diameter and hub diameter and length of the hub. So what is the given data? We can see here. Here pitch circle diameter is given, that is 500 mm, and here shaft transmit power of 8 kilowatt at 140 rpm. So from this you can find the torque. So after finding the torque, the diameter of PCD is given. From that you can find the, so here power is given and RPM is given and the design stress is given. From this you can find the gear shaft diameter, that is D, and the rim thickness will be find out by using rim thickness TR equal to M into under root of capital T by 2N. So here first we will see the given data, that is power is 8 kilowatt, 8 into 10 cube watts. Speed is 140 rpm. PCD is, pitch circle diameter is 500 mm. Shear stress, the stress developed in the shaft is 45 Newton per mm square. The module is 10 mm, and here the PCD is given, module is given. Module equal to PCD by number of teeth. From that you can find the number of teeth T equal to D by M, that is PCD by module, that is 500 by 10, that is 50 is the number of teeth. For pitch circle diameter 500 mm, the number of arms will be 4. So already the proportions were given, like if the PCD is below the 250, there is no, we can use the web. So if the PCD value is up to 500, we can use number of arms as 4. So in between 500 to 1500 it will be 6. 1500 to 2000 it is 8. Number of arms will be 8, and above 2000 PCD the number of arms will be 10. So here already the PCD is given as 500 mm, so we can adopt 4 arms. A, we find it out directly that pitch, based on the pitch circle diameter, the number of arms will be taken as 4 arms because PCD is 500 mm. And thickness of rim TR equal to M into under root of T by 2 into N. Here T is number of teeth and N number of teeth and N is number of arms. So here TR equal to M is given as 10 into under root of 50. Number of teeth is 50 by 2 into 4. Then thickness of the rim is 25 mm. Now gear shaft diameter you need to find. To find the gear shaft diameter, torque transmitted by shaft is T equal to, we can find using the formula T equal to P into 60 by 2 pi n. So power into 60 by 2 pi into speed of the shaft. So from that, P is 8 into 10 cube into 60 by 2 pi into 140. Then torque equal to 550, 545.95 Newton meter. So here torque equal to 545.95 into 10 cube will be Newton mm. So here shaft diameter can be found out when torque equal to pi d cube by 16 into tau. So from that d equal to cube root of 16 t by pi into tau. Cube root of 16 into 5,000 54,000 5,45,950 into 16 into 5,45,950 by pi into 45. So then we can find the dia of the shaft, that is 18.35 mm is the dia of the shaft. We can adapt to D is 20 mm. So here to find the hub, length of the hub L equal to 1.75D, that is 1.75 into 20, then 35 mm is the length of the hub. Outer diameter of the hub D1 equal to 2 into D, that is 2 into 20, that is equal to 40 mm is the outer diameter of the hub. So bore inside diameter of the hub equal to bore dia is equal to shaft diameter, that is 20 mm. So in this way we can design the spur gear wheel. So in that first the number of arms will be found out by using the given PCD value, the pitch circle diameter. So here it is 500. So then up to 500 number of arms will be 4. So the next we need to find thickness of the rim. Thickness of the rim equal to TR equal to M into under root of T by 2 into N. Number of teeth by 2 into number of arms. So next shaft diameter will be find out, and the shaft diameter will be find out by using the power, speed and design stress. So next hub, length of the hub and outer diameter of the hub can be find out by using length of the hub is 1.75D and outer diameter of the hub D1 equal to 2 into D. So next topic will be spur gear teeth, design of spur gear teeth. In designing the teeth of a gear, it is assumed that gear tooth acts as a cantilever beam that is subjected to tangential force, because so tooth is supported at one end and fixed at one end and free at other end. So that's why the gear tooth acts as a cantilever beam where it is subjected to a tangential force of F. When it rotates, the tangential force will act at. So now here in this spur gear teeth design, in this, it is assumed that the gear tooth acts as a cantilever beam that is subjected to a tangential load of F. The root area ABCD must be large enough to sustain the withstand safe load the F. So the root area ABCD must be large enough to withstand safely the load F. And thickness AB depends upon the form of tooth and circular pitch. So this is a gear tooth. So it is having a rectangular shape at the bottom, that is ABCD. This area must and should be enough so that it can withstand the load F which acts tangentially on the surface of the tooth. So here we can see this acts as a cantilever beam where the bottom is fixed and the top is free, and the load is acting at the free end only. So that's why it is like a cantilever beam which of tangential force acts at the at the free end. So to withstand this load, the ABCD must be large enough to sustain the load F. So in that way, we need to design the area. That area should withstand the load F. And here, thickness AB depends upon the form of the tooth and circular pitch of the gear. So design of spur gear teeth. Here we use Mr. Wolford Lewis derived the following equation to obtain circular pitch. So Mr. Lewis equation derived, we use Lewis equation for the to get the circular pitch. F equal to, that is the force, tangential force at pitch point, F equal to sigma into PC into Y into B. So this called the Lewis equation to obtain circular pitch. So F equal to sigma into PC into Y into B is the Lewis equation. So here where F is equal to tangential force at pitch point, and that force is nothing but torque by radius. Torque equal to force into radius. So here F equal to torque by radius of pitch circle, and PC is circular pitch, and sigma is the permissible working stress. So that is allowable static stress into velocity factor is the permissible working stress. So sigma equal to sigma S into CV. So CV is the velocity factor. This velocity factor CV equal to 3 by 3 plus V up to 12.5 meter per second for ordinary gears. So CV value will be 3 by 3 plus V. It is up to the speed of 12.5 meter per second for ordinary gears. 6 by 6 plus V up to 20 meter per second for accurate gears. So where V is the pitch line velocity in meter per second. So here sigma is the allowable stress. Allowable stress is permissible working stress. Permissible working stress equal to allowable static stress into velocity factor. This velocity factor is depends upon the gear type. So that is up to 12.5 meter per second for ordinary gears. It is 3 by 3 plus V. For accurate gears up to 20 meter per second, it is 6 by 6 plus V. Depends upon the velocity, pitch line velocity, and the type of gears we decide CV value, that is velocity factor. And for 10 to 12.5 meter per second for spur gears. So normal V will be used where pitch line velocity is 10 to 12.5 meter per second for spur gears. And it should be less than 3 meter per second for cast iron cast gears. So here design of spur gear teeth y equal to Lewis form factor or tooth factor. Y equal to Lewis form factor or tooth factor. So y equal to 0.124 minus 0.684 by t for 14 and of involute full depth, and 0.154 minus 0.912 by t for 20-degree involute full teeth. So y is the Lewis form factor. In the above equation, y is Lewis form factor. The values depends on the type of tooth. So B is face width. The face width equal to 2 pc to 3 pc for cast spur gears, and 3 pc to 4 pc for cut spur gears, and 5 pc for precision cut gears. So here B is the face width. In terms of model and for given profile of teeth, so here pi into y is called form factor, is constant also called as form factor. Thus the equation 2 can be written as F equal to m into capital Y into B. So here PC can be written in pi into m, because P is equal to pi into d by t. D by t is nothing but module. So here in terms of module, F equal to sigma into m into pi into y into b. Here pi into y is called as form factor, that is equal to capital Y. So in terms of module, F equal to tangential force at pitch point, F equal to sigma into m into capital Y into b. So here y is form factor. The form factor is assumed as 0.25 for 49 of degree involute full depth, and it is 0.29 for 20-degree involute full depth. So this is form factor values. For solving the above equation, we may use 0.25 for 14 and of degree involute full depth, and 0.29 for 20-degree invalid full depth. So next we can see the service factor. The Lewis equation is applicable for the gears operating under steady load conditions. For gears operating continuously more than 8 to 10 hours per day, the permissible tangential force is calculated as given below. So here Lewis equation is applicable for the gears under steady loads conditions only. So for the gears operating continuously more than 8 to 10 hours per day, the tangential force can be calculated by using the given formula F equal to P into 60 by V into CS. So P is the power transmitted, V is the pitch line velocity in meter per minute, and CS is the service factor here. So CS is service factor. So by using this formula, we can find the tangential force acting on the gear. So V is pitch line velocity in meter per minute. Here V is in meter per minute. So CS is service factor. The value of CS for different loads are given in table. The type of load study, the type of services intermediate for are 3 hours per day. So if we use 3 hours per day, then its value is 0.8. 8 to 10 hours per day, the value is 10. 1 continuous 24 hours per day, that is 1.25 value, CS value. For light shock intermediate are 3 hours per day, it is 1. The value is 1. 8 to 10 hours per day, it is 1.25. And continuously 24 hours, it is 1.54. Medium shock, intermittent, it is 1.25. 8 to 10 hours per day, it is 1.54. And continuous 24 hours per day, it is 1.80. Heavy shock, intermittent, it is 1.4. 8 to 10 hours per day, it is 1.80. Continuous 24 hours per day, it is 2. The value is 2. So these are the service factor values based on the type of load and type of services. So here we can see one problem. A set of spur gears has to transmit 40 kilowatt when the pinion rotates at 400 rpm. The gear ratio is 1 is to 4. The permissible stress for pinion and driver gear material are 120 Newton per mm square and 100 Newton per mm square respectively. Determine the module face width of the pinion has 20. Determine the module and face width of the pinion has 20 teeth and the face width is 15 times the module. So here we need to find the module and face width M and B. So here power is given, that is power equal to 40 kilowatt. Speed of the pinion is 400 rpm. Gear ratio is 1 is to 4. Number of teeth on pinion is TP equal to 20. Number of teeth on gear is equal to TG equal to 4 into 20. 4 times the number of teeth on pinion, then it is 4 into 20, that is 80. Gear speed NG equal to, so by using the train value in NP by NG equal to 1 by 4, then NG equal to 400 by 4. it is 100 rpm. Ng by n4 np equal to 400, 1 by 4, Ng equal to 400 by 4, that is 100 rpm. So PCD, pinion of pinion is, pitch circle diameter is dp equal to tp into m. So here tp is the number of teeth on pinion into module, will get the number of teeth, uh, pitch circle diameter of the pinion. So here we know, don't know the value of m, we know the value of number of teeth, that is 20 into m is the PCD of pinion in module. PCD of gear is dg equal to tg into m, that is 80 into m in mm's. So that is the pitch circle diameter of the gear is 80 m in mm. So here linear velocity v equal to pi dpn by dpn. So linear velocity we need to get in meter per minute. So that's why pi dpn, pi into, so we need to get it in meters. So that's why we need to multiply with the 1000. Then it is pi into 0.02 m into 400. Linear velocity of the gear is 400. Then pi into 0.02 m into 400. So now the linear velocity v equal to 25.13 m meter per minute. So 25.13 into module is the linear velocity in meter per minute. So the tangential tooth load F equal to P into 60 by V. So into CS, if it is given as steady loads, we can take it as 1. So for P is 40 into 10 cube into 60 by 25.13 m. So then it is equal to 95,503.38 per m newtons is the tangential tooth load. So here tooth factor for pinion is yp equal to 0.124 minus 0.684 by tp. So here we know the value of tp, then yp equal to 0.09 is the tooth factor for pinion. For the gear it is 0.124 minus 0.684 by tg. So then we know the value of tg, tg is 80. So then substituting the value, yg equal to 0.115. Here strength factor, the strength factor pinion is equal to sigma sg into yp, that is equal to 120 into 0.09, that is equal to 10.8. So here the Lewis equation will be used where it on the less strength one. So for finding the strength factor, we need to, the strength factor will be sigma into yp. For the pinion, it is sigma s into g into yp, that is 120 into 0.09, that is 10.8 is the strength factor for the pinion. For the gear, it is y into sigma into yg, then that is 100 into 0.115, that is equal to 11.5. So here yp yg is greater than yp, so that's why we need to design use the Lewis equation on the weaker one. So that's why we need to take the pinion. So f equal to yp into p into, sorry, f equal to sigma p into p into yp into b. So here p pc of b is face width, that is 15 into m. pc is circular pitch, that is pi into m. So from the equation, f is known as Ni- 95,503.38 by m equal to sigma p is 120 into m into yp is 0.09 into 15 m. P is 15 m. So from that, by substituting the values, we got the module m as 6 mm and face width is 15 into m, that is 15 into 6, that is 90 mm. So module can be calculated by using given formula, that is, so in place of p, we can use pi into m. So from this also we can get the value. Module can be find out. So this way we need to find the module and phase width. So this is about the gears. So in this, we were discussed about generally what is a gear. Gear is a toothed wheel with a special profile. So generally, the drives are used to transmit the power from one place to one shaft to another shaft. Like the power will be produced at somewhere the source engine prime mover, and we need to use that power at somewhere at the output place. To transmit the power, we use number of drives. In generally, we use the belt drives, chain drives, and gate drives. So we were already discussed about the belt drives and chain drives. So here we just finished the gear drives. So here gear is nothing but it is a toothed wheel which has a special profile, so that the two gears mesh together and transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. So here gear is a positive drive. So positive drive means there is no slip. It is a positive drive. It can transmit the exact power to another shaft without any slip. So it is so it is also used where the different speeds are required and high speeds are there. We need to use the gears. So gears which are at the near to shafts which are at near to each other also we can use the gears. So in this the main nomenclature of gears, we generally use circular pitch, that is the distance between the corresponding point of successive teeth measured along the pitch circle. In circular pitch P equal to pi d by t. So here d is nothing but pitch circle diameter. Pitch circle diameter is nothing but the diameter of the imaginary friction circle. So when two gates are meshed together, the where the point of contact takes place when the power transmission takes place, that is the friction circle. So point of contact, both gaze will meet at some one particular point of contact. Around the wheel, that particular point of contact is called a friction circle. So that is the pitch circle diameter. Generally, gear is mentioned by size of the gear is mentioned by pitch circle diameter only. So here we circular pitch is the distance between the corresponding point of successive teeth measured along the pitch circle. So P equal to pi d by T. So diametral pitch equal to T by number of teeth of the gate to the pitch circle diameter. T by D is the diametric pitch. So module is the ratio of pitch circle diameter in mm to the number of teeth. M equal to D by T equal to 1 by P. D is the module. So afterwards we were discussed about the, so this is main nomenclature of the spur gear teeth. So we were already discussed different types of gears based on the axis of the shaft, relative position of axis of shaft, and position of axis of teeth, position of axis of shaft with the teeth, and position of form of teeth profiles. So based on this, we were discussed about the spur gear, helical gear, bevel gears, spiral gears, worm and worm gears. So all these are like different forms of gears we use. Generally, we use spur gears. So after completion of different types of gears, so we were discussed about the gate trains. Generally, to transmit the power, we need to have minimum of two gates. When two gates mesh together to transmit the power, then it is called as gate train. So in generally, we have two types of gate trains. One is ordinary gate trains and epicyclic gate trains. We generally use the ordinary gate trains. Ordinary gate trains, the gates rotate about the fixed axis. So in ordinary gate train, we have simple, compound, and reverted gate trains. So simple is having each shaft consists of only one gear. So in simple gate trains, there we use an ideal gear which is used in between driver and driven to transmit the power. So the ideal gears can be used if there is odd number of gears. The direction of rotation of driver and driven gears will be same. If we use even numbers, we get the opposite direction rotation of driver and driven gears. So next one is the compound gear train. In compound gear train, the intermediate shaft consists of two ideal gears. So which is also used to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. So in reverted gate train is another form of compound gate train where driver and driven axes are collinear. So then it is called reverted gate train. So then we have seen different types of reverted gate trains like back gear of lathe, sliding gearbox, sliding motor car gearbox. So in back gear of lathe, the back gear is engaged and disengaged. Whenever we require the large speed reductions, we need to engage the back gear with the back gear, and to if we doesn't want a reduction in speeds, we directly transmit the power to the spindle. So in motor car gearbox also we use sliding gearbox. So there also the driver and driven gear shafts are on the collinear. So there we use driver shaft, lay shaft, and main shaft. So here lay shaft is an intermediate shaft which consists of different gears. So when the main shaft gears come in contact with the lay shafts, we will get the different speeds. So that's how we get the different speeds in motor car gearbox. So next we were discussed about the design of spur gear wheel. So in the spur gear wheel, we need to design the thickness of the rim, number of arms, profile of the arm, and length of the hub, and diameter, inner diameter and outer diameter of the hub. So that is the design of spur gear wheel. So we have done some problems related to spur gear wheel design today, and we were discussed about spur gear tooth, design of spur gear tooth. So the spur gear tooth can be taken as a cantilever beam. So like which is fixed at the cross section ABCD. The ABCD should the area of ABCD should enough to withstand the tangential load F. So that is the design of spur teeth. So the thickness of AB can be decided by the its circular pitch, and in this we need to use the Lewis equation. So that is F equal to find the face width of the tooth, we need to use the Lewis equation, that is F equal to sigma into m into y into b. F is the tangential force at each point, and y is form factor, b is face width. So this is how we were discussed about the gears. And we'll see some quiz questions. Spur gear is taken as cantilever in its design. In Lewis formula for same material which 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 is taken as weak. So if there is a same material, pinion and gear, then we need to use pinion as a weaker one. So Lewis formula is used for the weaker one only. So in Lewis formula for different materials which is taken as weak means low strength part can be taken as weak. So there are some frequently asked questions. Define the following terms: circular pitch, diametral pitch, module, and show their relationship. And some uh, problem related to the find the number of teeth and center distance. So this is what the case. So related to spur gear tooth design, this problem. So here we need to find module and face width.